Alright, so according to my husband, this is his least favorite video of mine. But we're gonna do it anyway because I love doing these. Y'all be watching them. So, and he gonna watch it anyway. So, what are we talking about here? Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be doing a try a chapter tag. And I have really been trying to find some good mystery thriller horror novels, specifically by Black authors, but really by anybody. And I have not been successful this year. For the most part, I don't even think I have one to recommend to y'all right now. So what I did was I grabbed a few books that literally either just came out or they're going to be coming out in the next few months, and we're going to just read the first chapter of them. I'm gonna come back with some thoughts, and then at the end of this video I'm going to decide which one I'm actually gonna continue with. So let's get into the video. I'm also going to link down below the other times that I have done try a chapter tags because they're so fun. I really enjoy doing them if I have the time, because I have to, you know, read, come back to the camera. So, you know, I got a little bit of time today. So the first book I'm going to be trying out is Sounds Like a Plan by Pamela Samuels Young and Dwayne Alexander Smith. Now, I'm not familiar with Pamela, but I am familiar with Dwayne because Dwayne has written a thriller. It's like a southern thriller called 42 Acres. That book has been on my list for some time now. It's just very long, and you know, when it's a long mystery thriller, I am a little bit weary about that. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm a little bit weary. But it looks like them two have teamed up on this book. The cover looks really fun. It definitely caught my eye. And this one is gonna be coming out July 9th. So I'm gonna go check it out. Okay, so this book is about two private investigators, and in the first chapter we get someone named Jackson's point of view. I'm assuming that is who Dwayne is writing from, and then Pamela is probably going to be writing from the female. In the first chapter we only get Jackson. Apparently what this book is about is Jackson and the female, they are both private investigators. They get hired on to do the same job. They also cannot stand each other. This book is sounding familiar to me. What? Let's keep going. So they are hired on to do the same, to work on the same case, and I don't know, it might be some kind of enemies to lovers type thing. But in the first chapter, we are introduced to Jackson. And Jackson is just in his office with his great review and just thinking about how business has not been good. And he might have to start taking on some work that he don't really want to take on, you know, because the bills still have to get paid. So just when he's thinking maybe he needs to stop being a little too, uppity about some of the jobs he takes on, a man with a very expensive suit and a large briefcase arrives at his office, and he is interested in procuring his services. So that is pretty much just the first chapter. You know, it's written very plainly. You know, it's not hard to read. It's definitely more on the mystery / suspense side. If that is something that you're into. I'm also interested to see, what the female POV is like and what she thinks about Jackson, because Jackson is already telling us that he's a good looking guy. So he's clearly very confident and probably even a little bit of an asshole, but you know, we'll see. So far, pretty good start. All right, so the next one I'm gonna pick up is Trouble in Queenstown by Delia Pitts. Okay, so I had the advanced audiobook for Trouble in Queenstown. Shout out to St. Martin's for sending that to me. I know the name Delia Pitts because Delia Pitts has been writing mystery for a while. She has been, and I have not read any of her books. So I definitely want to check out her upcoming work. So this one is going to be coming out July 16th. Now, this is about a woman named Vandy, and Vandy used to be a cop, but she was only a cop because she felt like she had to because of her father, right? She's no longer a cop. Now she is a private investigator. She's gone back to her childhood town, which is a small town called Queenstown in New Jersey. I've never heard of it. It might be a fictional town. In this town, it's very small. Everybody kind of like knows your business. And, Vandy, she needs money. All these private eyes need money. But she needs money. And for the most part, her clients have been people that are divorcing, and they need her services to kind of dig up dirt on on their spouse. So we find out, just from looking at the synopsis, that basically she's going to get hired on by this guy named Leo Hanna, and Leo Hanna is the nephew of the town's mayor. And Leo Hanna hires her to tell his wife that he is going to be divorcing. And, she's following the wife, and then it's feeling like, at first it's just a regular case, but then a racially charged murder takes place, and the Hanna family is involved somehow, some way. So Vandy has to make some definite decisions, right? So in the first chapter, nothing really happens, to be honest. In the first chapter, Vandy goes to a bar that her friend owns. She's chilling there. Her friend tells her, I want to hook you up with Leo Hanna because he is looking to give you a job for your services. Boom. That's it. That's the end of the first chapter. That's it. So, does it give me enough to want to continue? I don't know. It depends on what the other books is given, right? Okay. I do tend to really love small town, like mystery type things, like it's giving cozy mystery, if that makes sense. And I am a big fan of Sookie Stackhouse, of that series. I used to eat those books up like candy. So if I'm interested. I am definitely interested, despite the first chapter not giving me really much of anything. But the first chapter is very short. I literally listened to it in I want to say probably less than 10 minutes. So you probably have to get a little bit further in, to see what's going on here. The next one I'm gonna be picking up is Society of Lies by Lauren Ling Brown. Alright, y'all, so I just finished reading the prologue and the first chapter of Society of Lies by Lauren Ling Brown, and this book comes out August 13th. I feel like now we are starting to get a little bit darker. Like, the first two was giving real light, but I think we might be getting a little bit darker as the months go on, right? So in the prologue, we meet Maya, and Maya is a college student, and she's going to Princeton University. In this prologue, she's in a party. So this party is a celebration for all the people that have been invited to be a part of this social club called Sterling House that Princeton has, right? Now, that there's always a secret society within the society. So while she's at the party for that, another dude comes up to her and whispers listen, we want to invite you to, I can't remember the name of the secret society, but we want to invite you to that. You got 30 seconds to decide. And she doesn't really take all the 30 seconds because she's like, yes, baby, I'm in. I'm in. I knew there was another secret society and I'm in, right? That is the end of the prologue. So in chapter 1, we fast forward 10 years later, and we see Maya as an adult. She is at the Princeton reunion, and she's at this reunion party. She feels a little bit uneasy, but she's not exactly saying why. She has kind of just gotten into it with her younger sister Naomi, the day before. But Naomi, who's also a student at Princeton, Naomi is supposed to meet her at the party, and she's waiting for her, and then she gets terrible news. Naomi has been killed. That is not a spoiler. That is in the synopsis. So basically what this book is about is Maya trying to find out what in the hell happened to her younger sister. She also suspects that her sister was a part of Sterling House and also a part of the secret society within Sterling House. So, and she already knows what could possibly have gone down because she was in the damn society herself. So she's already thinking like, oh my God, you know, like if I was getting into this, she might have been getting into this, you know. So this whole investigation is really making Maya kind of dig up her own skeletons to find out what has happened to her sister and who was involved. I am very interested in this one. This is hitting exactly where I like my thrillers to hit, okay? Lots of secrets, folks are dying. I love these types of thrillers. Set in a school. I love thrillers set in a school. Actually, I love a lot of books that are set in like schools, in like boarding schools, colleges, high schools. I like it, but I like it when it has older themes. So this one is looking mighty good to me. This one is looking pretty damn good to me. Okay, so let me see what's next. Okay, next up we have The Accomplice by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. This one comes out September 3rd. So I didn't even realize this was a like mystery thriller until I looked it up. And I was like, oh, okay. Add it to the list. I am definitely looking forward to this one because I like to read whatever 50 Cent is writing. Because he's actually very good at telling stories, if you haven't realized it already. So, yes, let's see what this one is about. Okay, so let's talk about The Accomplice by 50 Cent, right? Okay, so I read the prologue. Is it prologue? A prelude, they are calling it. The prelude starts in 2023 in Palestine, Texas. And we are introduced to the main character of this book. Her name is Nia Turner. And she is pretty much pushing 70 years old. She is, you know, living a very secluded life. She's an ex-Texas Ranger, and you know, she's certainly not what she used to be, but she likes to think of herself as still fairly, you know, she could make something shake if she needed to. Like if somebody came at her, she'd be ready, right? And she's minding her business, and you know, the new Texas Ranger has appeared with another Ranger. They have both appeared at her home, and she's trying to find out what is it that they want, right? So come to find out what they actually want is her help because someone named Desmond Bell, his name is ringing bells again, basically. This is a criminal from Nia's past, and just his name is really doing something to Nia. You know, she's already told these two Rangers she don't want to be involved in this. She's not interested. Don't tell her nothing else. Don't show her no case. Nothing, right? She's done with that. But they just keep talking. They already said the name, and yeah, let's just say her body reacts to hearing this name because she probably has some kind of PTSD, right? So then we get into chapter 1, and chapter 1 rewinds for us and is starting in 2004, right? So in 2004, we see that Nia is currently, this is when she is currently the Texas Ranger, and we're smack dab in the middle of a bank robbery. And, you know, Nia's there. She has her lead ranger with her, and they go in, people are dying. They're really trying to get in there and, and get these bad guys. Well, her lead ranger does something very questionable, right? I won't say what he does, but he does something that is very questionable and morally wrong, okay? And she peeps it and she's not cool with it. You know, a lot of times they really have to, they feel like, you know, they really have to stick together. You know, let's go with the same story. But Nia seems like the type of person that very much goes against the grain, and what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And I like characters like that. You know what I mean? But I don't know if this works out in her favor. I definitely don't know that. You know, so basically what we're getting from the synopsis is that this is a book about Nia, and I'm assuming most of the book is us trying to find out what is her history with this man, Desmond Bell. What did he do to her? What was the case? Because it seems like the case was, you know, this guy not only robs people, but he gathers information on very powerful people, and in particular a very powerful family that wants this man in the dirt because he is a threat. So somehow Nia is involved in all of that. To be honest, I typically am not a fan of like cop thrillers or, you know, detectives. I'm typically not a fan of law enforcement type thrillers, but I feel like I should give this one a chance because I am liking the main character's voice. I'm liking kind of like how she thinks. I'm liking the fact that, you know, she's now an older lady and she's just like, leave me the hell alone. I did my time. Y'all figure it out, right? So I do find older people that are like that very amusing. I don't know why, but I do. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in continuing with this one. It's not high on the list, but I'm interested. I do want to see where does 50 Cent and Aaron Clark take this book for sure. Alright, so the next one I'm going to pick up and try is Not What She Seems by Yasmin Ango. And this one also comes out September 3rd. So they are setting us up for the fall, y'all. Alright, so I have read the prologue and chapter 1 for Not What She Seems. Okay. I'm very interested in this one. I am really interested in this one because I would love to know where this book is gonna go. Like this book is like dropping a lot of bombs from the beginning, from the very beginning. So in the prologue, we meet an old man named Montavious. And this old man he used to be a detective, but now he is more so a armchair detective, just looking at you know, cold cases online and talking about it online with his other armchair detectives. And you know, he's kind of sequestered in this like cabin that he has, you know, for his family. You know, he's enjoying the seclusion, and you know, he's just kind of reminiscing about his granddaughter, who he calls JD, who is pretty much what this book is about. Her name is actually Jack, and but he calls her JD. And you know, a name comes up, a family name comes up in the news, and it's very familiar to him, and he reaches out to his granddaughter, but for some reason she has not been answering his calls. He talks about wanting her to come back home to this small town that they live in, and it's called Brookhaven. And he actually gets attacked in this prologue, and when he gets attacked, he is actually feeling good about it because he feels like, you know what, this is a good thing. My granddaughter's gonna come home now. And that that was interesting, right? So then we get into the first chapter, and in the first chapter we meet Jack, and Jack has been a teaching assistant, and she has been wanting to get into this fellowship program that is going to further her career. She wants to be a author, and you know, unfortunately things don't shake out the way she hopes they would, because someone decides to be a little petty. Okay, someone decides to be a little petty and try to block her from getting into this program. And when she realizes, you know, who it is and why they did that, she drops some bombs. Okay, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna give you in the first chapter. But a little bit more happens. There's a little bit more, but you know, we're just gonna keep it at that. Honestly, I am highly intrigued by this one because there's definitely, you know, this book is going to be about Jack coming back home to her hometown. And, you know, this is a town where she left as a pariah because the town's sheriff, I believe, he fell off of a cliff. And she was the only one to see it, so everybody blamed her. The sheriff that fell off the cliff was her father. So somehow everybody has decided that she is the reason that this has happened. But yes, she has not been back in this town ever since. And obviously after what happens with her grandfather, she needs to go back home. And when she goes back home, things are different and they're a little sinister. So again, I love a small town type of thing, but this is definitely giving thriller. This is giving small town thriller, not cozy mystery. Like, no, this is taking it there, which I like. I have not read Yasmin's previous series. I think it's called Her Name is Night. There's like a whole 3-book series there. I have not read those, but those get really good reviews online. So, you know, I will check out this one first. And I think this might be her first standalone. So, I'm excited to check this one out first. But we'll see. This is definitely, this is up there. This one is also up there. I really enjoyed the beginning of this one. So next we have Devil Kills Devils by Johnny Compton. Devils Kill Devils comes out September 23rd. This is the same author of The Spite House. I actually ended up DNFing The Spite House because, you know, it wasn't pulling me in. You know, it wasn't written badly at all. It just, I was listening to the audiobook and it just wasn't keeping my attention, so I just kind of put it down. But this is interesting. This is another one starting off with a bang. So we meet the main character named Sarita. Sarita has had a guardian angel her whole life, and she calls him Angelo, right? Angelo, in the beginning of this book, he kills someone very close to her. With no explanation, by the way. We don't know why. What is the reason that Angelo has killed this person that is close to Sarita? I'm not going to say who it is. But, I mean, we have no clue. And then after he does this, Sarita realizes that it's a whole lot of stuff going on around me, you know, in the shadows. And, yeah, there's way more things going on. So this book promises angels, demons, and vampires. Yes, okay, you had me at vampires. Okay, I'll take the demons and the angels too, but you really had me at vampires because I really like vampires. Now, I am curious to see where this goes. I'm curious to see, like, does Sarita have any type of you know, special kind of ability in her. Who is Angelo? Why has he been following her his whole, you know, her whole life? Why did he kill this person? So it's given, you know, like a paranormal thriller, which, listen, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I have not read a paranormal in a long time, and me and paranormals used to be like this. Okay, we used to be like this, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but I'm very much still interested. Yeah, I like how this one starts off, for sure. All right, y'all. So I just finished reading the prologue and the first chapter of Bad Influence by Brandon Massey. Now, this one is the only one that's actually out right now. This book literally came out on June 25th, which was a week ago, basically. And what a start. Okay, what a start. So this book is about a married couple named Adrian and Steph, and Adrian and Steph have a daughter named Harper, and Harper is a young teenager. I think she's about like 12 or 13. So right now Adrian and Steph are separated, living in two different houses, and their daughter Harp, you know, comes home one day and she's like, "Daddy, I met a new friend. Her name is Scarlett." And Harper has had a hard time making friends. So, you know, her father is really happy. But in the prologue, we get to know a little bit about Miss Scarlett, okay? Little Miss Scarlett does something she really should not be doing in the prologue of this book. So when we see that name, we're like, uh-oh, trouble, okay? So this book is going to be about clearly this little girl influencing their daughter Harper, and us seeing how that all is going to shake out. Now, I find out from the synopsis that the girl Scarlett is connected to someone that is connected to Adrian's job. So even if he finds out the little girl is up to no good, he may not be able to speak on it because, you know, he got bills to pay. So who even knows how this is gonna play out? But either way, it is a great start. I do tend to like thrillers with bad kids. So anyway, y'all, that was the last book that I had to try out. I have been reading all day. Okay, I've been reading little bite-sized pieces of books all day. So it is time to finally talk about which one of these I'm going to continue with. Now, let me just remind you the ones that I read. Okay, so we had The Accomplice. We had Bad Influence. We had Not What She Seems. We had Society of Lies, Queenstown, Sounds Like a Plan, Devil Kills Devils. So out of all of these books, I'm gonna tell y'all, for me personally, first of all, they all have pretty good starts. But for me, the ones that have the starts that really make me want to continue reading them to see what is going to go on. Like normally I would have continued to read these, right, if I wasn't doing this video. And there's definitely going to be Not What She Seems. I would absolutely continue with this one. Society of Lies, definitely that one. And Bad Influence. Those three are like, oh, and then Devils Kill Devils. So like 4. So those are the ones with the strongest starts for me as far as my taste. But if I had to pick one, which I have to because, you know, that's the video, I'm definitely going to go with Society of Lies by Lauren Ling Brown. Because this one is just too perfect for me, because it's set in a school. There's secrets. I mean, I can't not know what happens. You know, there's a murder in the first chapter. I must know what happens. Based off the information that you guys were given, which ones would you have picked? Obviously, if any of these sound good to you, make sure you add them to your library hold list so you could be ready when these start coming out, because I guarantee the hold list for these will be long. And you don't want to be number 33 on one of these books. We don't want that. We don't want that. So that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.